Welcome to Subconsciously Taken, fool.
Hello, how y'all doing? I hope everybody's doing good and hope y'all family's doing as well. Um, I think everybody should be aware of snakes that are around you. And I don't mean snakes, I mean people. People that you don't know what their intentions are or what they're up to. And the thing is that we get deceived a lot or subconsciously taken. And a lot of times people do that because they know your weakness. Whether it's you drinking a lot or whether you're doing drugs or whatever, they already know what your weak spot is, you know. Or even if they take you somewhere here and there, a lot of times because they want something. People don't see that, you know. And especially if you're doing drugs or you're alcohol, whatever, you don't think right. You start to do things that you don't want to do. We've all been there. I've been there. Everybody's been there, you know. And the thing is that we later get hurt. People get hurt because they save money for something or to keep them going in a good way. They don't have to worry about money. The money's there. But when you get people that come in just looking for the money, and after they take your money, they're gone, you know, or they get what they want and they leave, and then when you're in trouble and you need something, they don't help you. They're full of excuses, you know, and it's not their fault. It's each individual's fault for the way they think. I mean, you need to have, how do I say, you need to be aware of everything that goes on around you. You need to see people for what they really are. I mean, a lot of times you can tell why they're coming around. You can tell what problems they're having, and they start all this. Oh well, I didn't know I was going to pay for this, you know, or I didn't have enough money to do this, and I really need it bad. Can you loan me $1,000? Let's say that. And the person, good natured, say sure, just give it back. You know, they never give it back, or they never come back. Even if it's $20, $100, they never come back and give it to you. You know, and like I say, you know, just because somebody owes you money doesn't mean it's your money, because it's not your money until you get it in your hands and you hold on to it. Then you can say it's your money. Just because somebody owes you money, never think, oh, well, that's my money, you know, that you owe me, you know. Yeah, they owe it to you, but it's not yours till you get it in your hand, you know. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, you know. I mean, we got to watch out. We go by character. I mean, is this person really reliable on his word? Because a person's word today doesn't mean nothing no more. They promise you, they tell you things, and if you take it to heart and believe in that, then you're in for a downfall. You find out a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and a month goes by, and you need that money. Well, it's nobody's fault but yours, because you already knew the way the person was. People don't change. Sometimes they do, but it's hard. You know, the only thing you can do is analyze them as you go on. See what they're doing. Are they doing something good? Do they only come around you when they need something? Or do they ever come and bring you a meal or do something for you? You know, do they do that? You know, people that do that earns credit to their credibility on how they are. You know, and a lot of times you get deceived. You think a person's going in the right track. Next thing you know it, he's off the track. I mean, he's off the rails or whatever you want to call it. But we need to watch people like that. And sometimes people are addicted to something. And they need that money. They waste their money on instead of paying their bills, they waste it on money that they shouldn't even be wasting. You know, and then they're in trouble. Then they want you to bail them out. You know, and you got your own bills to think about, your own family or whatever. You know, sometimes you ain't got it. You just don't have it, and they beg and plead, and they got it. They need it. You know, we've all been there, where we needed money and we couldn't find it. We lose objects, we lose things. You know, the worst place to go to is and to get an addiction on is going to be the oh man, how to say, I had it in my mind right now. It's going to be like pawn shops. That's the worst addiction you can get. Pawn shops and loans, where you go and get a loan and stuff. If you don't know how to control yourself, it becomes a crush. You start depending on this and that. Next thing you know it, you start losing everything, especially on a pawn shop. You know, then you might be a person. Oh well, I'll lose it. I'll get another one. You know, you might think that way, and a lot of times we don't see us advancing in life because we're doing that. We're not seeing our what we work for or what we own. We might have had a nice stereo, a nice guitar, you might have had the best of the best, and now you lost it. And then many times when you lose something like that, you'll never get it back. You might think you are, but you won't. You might think about it later on in the future. Okay, you thought about it, but it's not there. You know, because the thing is, as life goes on, your mentality changes. It starts to change. Hopefully it'll change for the right, and you'll be able to see everything. I mean, if you work for your money, believe me, you'll hold on to it. But if it's drug money or easy money come, easy money goes, that's the way it is. You know, you never have this, how do you say it? Disability, you know. But I know there might be some words I don't say right. Sometimes I get tongue-tied. Like right now, my mouth is getting dry. Let me drink some water. And but we really need to think about is how do I advance in life? It's not by lending people money. Many times you hurt people that way, because then they depend on you to pay their bills, and that ain't right. Because we all gotta live, and we all got bills to pay, every one of us, except for the moochers, the ones that ain't got no house, ain't got no place to stay, and they end up staying with you. There's nothing wrong with that, but you want to see them help themselves. And as long as they don't help themselves, they're going to continue on the road they're on. But what happens to them when that person dies or goes away or moves somewhere far? What happens then? Oh, he'll find some other dummies to take your place, but they don't get out of the place they're at. Their mentality is just what it is. Borrow money, put stuff in the pawn shop, lose it. Pawn your kid's TV or whatever in the pawn shop, and they never get it back. You know, because you ain't got the money, because you're dependent on pawn shop, loans, people that lend you money. Where does it stop? Where does it stop to where you pay your bills and you start to see things appear? You got good things, a good guitar, a good whatever it is, you know? Rims for your car, but you worked for it. You know? Never try to get easy money. Easy money might work for some people because their mentality is to get this and do something with it and stay with that. Not to get this, lose it, and then you got to get it again. It doesn't work that way. Life's not that way. You know, and I think a lot of times we get lost thinking that the people that loan you the money will always be there. A lot of times that's not true, you know. Well, it ain't going to be true because sooner or later everybody dies, like I say, you know. But I'm just saying, you got to watch out for snakes. Snakes only come around when they're hungry. They're hungry for something, you know. Backstabbers are the same way. You know, you got to watch out for them too. They might talk to you good and everything, and then behind your back, they're gossiping, talking stuff, and you might have said something to them by accident, or their intention was to get something on you, and then later on they use it on you like, hey, you don't want me to say something about this, you know, you got to give me something. There's people like that. Don't think there's not. There's people like that. Those are the ones you got to really watch out for. Because when you give out too much information on your life, they're spreading it out to somebody. Every human being don't keep what you tell them. Some way or another, they'll say it. There's very few that do. You know, but you got to think about that. People don't think. They don't think no more today. They don't think. So just keep that in mind. I mean, don't let people try to con you out of something. If it's a person you ain't seen in a long time, just shows up out of the blue, maybe he did miss you. Maybe he's there for good intentions. But as soon as he starts asking for money, you know what's going on. Or he gives you a sad story and tells you about a problem he has, and you lend him that money, you never see him again. You know, things happen like that. But you need to be aware. Remember, God first, family, and country, the way I see it. Because God helps you when you ask him, whether you believe it or not. He does. And that's something that everybody needs to think about. It works for me. I don't go to church. I only believe on what I see in my eyes and what I hear. The book's there. I'll read on some of them, on some of the scriptures and stuff. But it gives me what I need. It's like I said, the Bible is powerful. If you're in trouble with something, open the book. Whatever scripture it falls on, read it. It's going to say something about your life. It might say something about the trouble you're having right now. But if you want, I know a lot of people don't want to believe because they don't want to do what's right. They want to stay in the wrong path all the time. They want to justify that. They want to justify it by it being where they grew up at, you know. I mean, they'll justify it like that. Their mentality will keep that that's what it was. I didn't have a dad. I didn't have a mom. I grew up in the streets. Nobody cared. Those are all excuses. Because at the end of the day, you're responsible for yourself. Nobody's responsible for you but yourself. Think about it. And that's just something that I thought I'd make a video on, because I thought it's hard to see snakes come around and they're poking around to see what they can get. It happens. Especially when they come out of the blue. Think about it. But anyway, like I always say, we all create our own hell by the choices we make in life. God loves you. Peace out.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. It's all up to you. Bye-bye and God bless.